All right, we got some replacements. What am I talking about? There's the baby out, the white one. Hey friends, welcome back to the Renewed Homestead. So what am I talking about? Replacements. We got some more apple trees. And we are out on the gravel road that's going to be the logging road. And you can see here next to me, it's bare dirt. And I know we don't like bare dirt, but we're working on it. It's been dry, so the seed, the grass seeds and stuff that we put down are not germinating very well, but this is where we want to get our trees. Behind me, we've got an apple tree. Now we're planting a persimmon tree. That's not what we got last weekend. We've had it because on the other side of that apple tree, we have another persimmon, and they need two to propagate, well, to grow fruit. So we're going to plant this persimmon, and then on the other side of that, we'll be planting one of the apple trees we just got. So let me get around here. I'm going to do a little bit of digging, and we'll talk about it some more as we go. Okay, now before I get digging, I want to mention to my left over here, to your right, down here is the pad that we had cleared. You can see the gravel on it. That is where the the animal therapy barn is going to be going. We are very excited about that. We've got plans in the works to get a barn going so we can see about getting our horses and do some animal therapy for kids that struggle with mental illness, and we'll get into that a little bit more. But anyway, it's just exciting to have that flattened out right there, and the gravel down. That's road bond. It'll form a good floor, a good foundation for us to start with, and hopefully here within the next couple of months, you'll see a barn going up. Pretty exciting stuff. Okay. As you notice, this is very steep and I'm sliding off. Oh, you want me to give you a hand? I am about to go off myself.
No, heavy the
Oh.
persimmon. I was gonna.
It is very steep. I've got a rock under here that I've got my foot wedged on to try to hold myself up. And to that point, I'm going to try to terrace this off a little bit because, you know, we'll get into how you plant a tree, but we're going to need a little bit more flat than just this slope, and then all the water nutrients run down, all that fun stuff. But hey, what's with the rock?
It must be an ant thing, silly.
Disney fans will get it. Put in the comments if you know what that's from. All right, I know you've seen us plant trees before. We're going to show you again because there's a lot of new subscribers, and you know, if you don't know, it's a good lesson. But you want to make sure your roots are down in the dirt. Duh, right? Duh. But we loosened the soil around it. We don't want, if you had a graft, I don't think persimmons have a graft point. This is just a regular plant, but if you have a graft, you can usually see the union, and you want to make sure that stays well above the soil when it's all filled back in. But we're going to get this down in here for now, and then we'll show you the rest of our process for doing this. So now I got to bring some dirt back up the hill.
Well, and we normally will completely fertilize on top, but because this soil is not very good soil, we're going to add just a little bit of our rabbit poop in the soil.
Yeah.
Now, one of the main reasons we are planting the trees here, number one, not only will this feed us, it will feed our livestock, but you see that's the paddock where the animals are. They can't get to the trees to hurt the trees, especially the goats.
Yeah. And cows. Had some issues with them too. All right, yeah, throw that in there.
Okay, that's rabbit poop.
It is.
Typically, we will fertilize from the top down because that's what nature does, but this is not very good soil, so we're gonna just give it a little bit of a boost.
Now, and we should probably talk about the soil for just a minute here. Like I said, we're on the gravel road, the logging road that they put in, and we put down, woo,
Ooh.
the wind just about had you there, folks. We put down some grass seed and stuff on this hillside because we don't want bare soil. That's what allows a lot of erosion to happen. It's just been so dry, very few of those seeds took. There's a little bit of clover in here that is still there. And we have been coming out and putting comfrey root in here. So there are a number of little comfrey plants coming up. But yeah, it's just dry. So we are working on that. And you know, I mean, it's fall, so, but we're still gonna be dry for the next 10 days. So we'll be watering these with a bucket.
Yes, well, October's typically our driest month. We're not overly dry here in Western North Carolina, but October is our driest month.
Okay. A little bit more. I got to make sure these roots get covered up. And I know it's hard for you to see. I mean, I'm squatting down because this slope is very steep. And it's just, you know, we're in the mountains and that's what you get. So I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you this steepness. That's why I'm kind of sitting at an angle here. A little bit more dirt, then we can put some more rabbit on it.
All right, so the first step, you put compost down, and this will fertilize the tree and help give it the nutrients that it needs. Now you can use compost. We've got rabbits, so we're just using rabbit poop. But we're gonna put a nice generous amount down.
And not all poop is created equal, so don't just throw your chicken poop on a new plant, right?
Yes, it'll burn it. Rabbit poop you can use right away. Okay. All right, now next step.
Next step, layer cardboard. All right, so why the cardboard? Well, one, it's going to keep the moisture in the ground. The cardboard will also call worms up, which help your soil, and worm castings and all that. That helps your plant. And it definitely will suppress any weed growth around your plant and reduce that competition. So that's really the key things to want in that cardboard in there. And then on top of that, we will be putting, you can put more compost. We use wood chips. We got a great big mountain of wood chips from the local road clearing crew here. And yeah, it'll give this little tree a good running start going into winter.
Yes.
So now, there is a trick to this, especially when you're on a slope. Just water and gravity and all that wants to push that cardboard down. So I'm going to cut a hole in this that's going to go around the tree, but I want that hole, the slit part, facing downhill. So if anything, that cardboard's just going to bump up against the tree. It's not going to hurt it, but it will hold it in place rather than everything sliding off down the hill and we lose the wood chips and the soil and the compost and all of that good stuff. I have to go pretty far back on this, I think. If we were here, that would be a diamond in the rough.
Bad joke.
A bad dad joke, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you are going to use this method, you want chewy dogs. You don't want to use cardboard or paperboard, anything that's glossy. One, it's not going to break down very well, and two, there's probably a whole lot more chemicals in it. And we do try to remove any tape, anything like that. The tape won't break down. We've come along when we did a whole bunch in mass. We've pulled out tape a year later, and it just pulls off. But you know, then you got a mess out in your yard, so.
Well, and you don't want it to hurt the worms.
No. All right, you knife guys, I know you're cringing because I just stuck that in the dirt. No! This is just a razor blade replaceable blade thing, so. No hate mail on digging my knife into the dirt. Like that.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
So yeah, we try to use a couple layers of cardboard. That's it's more worm food, and it's that extra layer of protection for the moisture. And now some wood chips. Mm-hmm. And this, believe it or not, these were delivered in the spring, right? Probably February, March.
I think so.
That wood pile. I like how black that is already. It's just breaking down. It's turning into wonderful soil on its own. Now the other thing too, you got to be careful when you're doing this. You do not want the wood chips up against your tree. Because what's turning those wood chips into nice black soil will also rot the bark right off your tree and kill it. So we're pouring it on there, but we are going to definitely pull it back.
Black walnuts.
Nature's gunshot. The black walnuts are falling off the tree and hitting the metal roof. Okay, well, it is the one disadvantage of being on a slope.
Yeah, there's not much we can do about it.
No, and that'll kind of slope and lay down over time here. But get that pulled away. There you have it. It's a persimmon.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to head over there and plant this apple tree. It is a Virginia Beauty. We got several old-timey apple trees. We actually got 10 apple trees, Ben. I told him, pick out what you want.
I am my great-grandfather's grandson.
What I just wanted the cameo apples. I got 3 of those, so I said whatever he wanted. But we did get a lot of old-timey ones, and if you guys are interested in if you wonder why we purchased them and you're interested in learning more about the old-timey apple trees we purchased and why, let us know and we can do a video on each one and kind of go over the history of them. But we're going to head down here now. A reason we're not planting 2 cultivars together. So we've got the apple and the persimmon. Typically what we like to do is like say apple, pear, nitrogen fixer, and then like pear, apple, nitrogen fixer. The reason we don't put 2 of the same species of tree together is it helps if there's any kind of disease or pest pressure. If you've got them split apart and you've got different cultivars between each one, it actually helps break that up. So we've got a persimmon here. Typically a persimmon pest is not going to be the same pest that you're going to deal with or the same disease that you're going to deal with an apple tree. So it just kind of helps break it up. And we've got a lot of black locust actually growing up in our pasture, and we've got seedlings that we're going to pull up, and we'll be placing them here. And the reason we're doing the black locust is
it's a great nitrogen fixer.
Exactly. It'll bring that nitrogen into the soil, which will help the rest of the trees.
Yep. And you can coppice it, and it makes great firewood when it's dry.
That's true.
And eventually, most likely, a lot of this will be turned into guilds too. We will probably come out here and we'll probably, in between the bigger trees, we'll put in blueberries, maybe some raspberries, and we'll have to talk to you about some raspberries here in a bit.
Yes.
But
well, and as they get bigger, we can also use the trees as a grapevine, so we can plant some grapes at the base of the tree and actually use that. Yeah, exactly. It all works together.
Absolutely. You wouldn't think it right now because all you're seeing is dirt and
ragwort.
I mean,
well, we got comfrey, but
but comfrey let me try that again. Comfrey will grow just about anywhere. And you are getting very short on time on ordering that if you need some over at our website. But
yes.
Boy, this reminds me of digging in Arizona.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have to do excavating work.
Hey, yep. It's all good.
All right, so we're going to go plant this apple tree.
Let's move. All right, so when you're planting especially apple trees, anything that's grafted, you got to be cognizant of that graft point. This one, it's hard to see because it's still wrapped in tape, and that tape will fall off as the tree grows. It's not going to hinder it in any way. But what I'm concerned about here is this is right alongside of a road. So I want to make sure these branches are pointing along with the road rather than out into the road. Sure, I could prune it, but why not use it to my advantage? Let the tree grow, and then any small ones that start to grow out, then I cut those off and just keep it, almost the espalier type of thing where, I can train it and grow the direction that I want. And, too, we will be bending these over. We'll get into that at a future date. But anyway, I'm just looking at which way these branches are going before I get it in the ground and get it covered up. So. All right, one last thing before we head downhill. We've got some iris bulbs that we're going to plant near here. Besides being pretty, they also help keep the groundhogs away. Daffodils do a better job, and daffodils are really good to keep deer away. I don't have any daffodil bulbs right now, so we're going to put the iris in for now, and we will eventually get some daffodils up here too, but just want to get this in the ground real quick, and it's just going to look really pretty once this all filled in and grown.
But every tree that we plant, we surround with bulbs.
Yep.
Just acts as kind of a fortress for the tree.
That's right. And someday this will be just a really pretty little drive. There's no real trick to bulbs. I mean, this one's a little bit bigger, so I got to go a little bit deeper on this. But well, I say there's no real trick. I mean, I know people would argue with me about that, but I'm just digging the dirt away. These were growing on a roadside, on an abandoned road, and I dug up a few because they were pretty and wanted to share that. on our property. So there we go. Grow forth and be pretty. Okay, so we've got down the hill here and we want to talk about raspberries. Well, last weekend when we went out to the Boone,
outside of Boone,
the Boone area of North Carolina, to check out these apple trees, we got to talking and chatting and all that. And his wife came out and said, Denise, come over here and check this out. So they wandered off and she comes back, big grin on her face and like, here, sticking something in my face, eat this.
This.
I know how that goes as a kid. Here, you eat this. Hey, Mikey, he likes it.
yes,
You know that one, right? Anyway, so it was raspberries.
really good raspberries.
Unlike any raspberries I've ever had. You know, you get the really red, they can be plump, but they're usually a bit sour, you know, might have a little sweetness to them. These were sweet. I mean,
Very sweet.
These are like eating bubble gum. My goodness, the bugs. It must be Decker. He's laying right there. Anyway, so, you know, we bought these apple trees and he's like, those are really good raspberries, aren't they? He's like, well, we'll give you a couple plants before you go. And sure enough, they did.
And he could have easily sold these
Oh,
for
probably $10 a
probably
gallon.
15, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what Stark Bros
And-
charges for raspberries.
Right. Nanatahala.
Natahalia, I believe is how it's
Natahalia,
pronounced.
yeah, I know.
Natahalia.
I believe there's an Indian tribe by that name, and it's also like a region it used to be called.
I'm
Anyway,
not sure.
that's what they call them, and these are just wonderful. And he did say these are not ones that you can just go through and mow over with your lawnmower every year. You've just clipped back the dead cane, and they will come back, and they do spread. So hopefully there will be more of these. But
Hopefully they spread a lot.
yeah,
They're yummy.
my goodness, these are something else.
Yeah, so if you have a chance, Natahalia raspberries, definitely get some. The best raspberry I think we've had.
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
black raspberries, but this is my new favorite.
Yes.
But really, really generous couple. And if I don't know if he's got any more trees left, but if you are in the Western North Carolina area, he does this, I believe, every fall and every spring. So I can get you his information if you're interested. Really, really great family.
Super nice folks.
Yeah, great family.
But he does his own grafting, and he's very good at it. He knows his apple trees, and he really enjoys telling you about them. So it's worth the trip just to go out there.
Absolutely, and you're supporting somebody local.
That's right. That's right. It doesn't have to be the big commercial nurseries.
Nope, and we saved a ton of money.
That's right. What, $10, $15 worth of gas versus $30 in shipping?
Yeah, well, and $60 a tree for a lot of these places.
Yeah.
50 to $60 a tree.
Oh,
so
easily. Yep.
yeah.
Ooh.
So,
Supposed to be done with the bugs.
yeah, it's a warm week. We had a
Yeah.
warm up, and then we're dropping off quick next week. We're supposed to get really warm, and then we're dropping off a cliff on cold. So
Yeah. So probably not many more green bean harvests.
nope,
But
nope.
anyway, so we're gonna get these in the ground, and who knows, maybe someday we'll be able to sell some bare roots of those.
Absolutely.
But all right, is there anything else?
I think that's it. Just wanted to take you along. We're working on trees today. Best time to plant trees is in the fall. It's not spring. Like Ben said, they'll have all winter and the rest of fall to get that root growth established before before the warmer weather in spring. So if you can, get your trees now and get them in the ground now.
Most places don't sell bare root right now. That's
Unfortunately.
yeah.
Yes, but now is the best time of year to plant a tree.
Yep.
So
If not 5 years ago,
well, yes, but
of course.
this isn't 5 years ago.
That's right. 5 years ago, my goodness, 5 years ago we'd still be in Arizona.
Wow. Yeah, we were.
And 100 degrees.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
So.
So,
All right, well, we're going to probably be doing a kind of hard cutoff on selling comfrey root because the ground's going to get too cold. We won't be able to get them to you. In most places, you're not going to be able to get them in your ground before
probably
too
have
long.
about a week and a half to 2 weeks left.
About that. So
Yeah, and then we'll cut
if
off.
you do want to try to get comfrey root in the ground before winter, get your orders in, please. And while you're there, pick up a Hori knife, best tool I've used. And
Willow root and hormone.
willow root hormone and some deodorant.
Yes.
Anyway, I think we're going to call it good before I eat any more bugs. I think my lungs are filling up with bugs. I know, I'm so dramatic. Anyway, All right, thanks for coming along. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something. Please comment, that helps our channel, and give us that thumbs up, subscribe. Take care, God bless. We'll see y'all in the next video.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.